and Allah is watching. How do we make use of those energies and that time? Once we lose our good health, it is very difficult to go back to what we were before becoming sick or ill or unhealthy. Can you imagine? We are not thinking with the mind of the heart. Inna Rabbi latiful lima yasha'u. Inna Rabbi latiful lima yasha'u. Allah accomplishes His will in the most subtle manner.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters and viewers, welcome to the final episode in this season, episode 12. Dr. Khatak, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
So we have now come to the final episode of this season. What's going to happen in the next season?
Well, Momin Bhai, where do we go from here? First of all, we need to understand that these 12 episodes of deep dive into Qur'an were actually in the context of our life in the West and the way we have faced the different challenges of life as first or second generation of Muslims in a Western non-Muslim system or country. So that is one of the main point we need to understand about this effort which Allah has enabled us to make. These episodes are actually interconnected with a theme of what is the basic Quranic philosophy of life and how does that philosophy of life actually relate to our ground reality of life. If our iman, if our understanding of our deen is not grounded in our day-to-day life and is not connected to our day-to-day life, then that is a mere thought. That is just intellectual indulgence. That is wishful thinking. Once we have understood that this is the main purpose of doing this first season of deep dive into the Qur'an, is to understand Qur'an, its message, and our deen and its spirit in light of the life we are living here and now in the West, in Britain, in America, in Australia, in Europe. Once we have understood this, then it is easier for us to live our life as Allah would like us to live. From this onward, understanding this context of this series of talks, the next step is, where do we go from here? Every action is rooted. Every action is grounded in a concept, in a thought. First, man thinks and then he does. The origin of action is in thinking. If we get our thought process on the right track, and then while living our life, we keep on trying to perfect our thinking, and as a result, our action keeps on improving, all the time moving towards perfection. That is then actually fulfilling the purpose of life. How did I personally try to live the concepts which I evolved with the guidance and mercy of Allah from Qur'an and from the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? What challenges I came across moving from my country of birth and coming here, having lived my formative years, almost all of them in Pakistan, and then my practical life over here. I've shared that experience with you in light of what I have understood it to be of Qur'an and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In this final episode, I would try to actually conclude what we have discussed over course of the previous 11 episodes of deep dive into the Qur'an. And I'll try to do that in the light of 3 ahadith of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And hopefully, inshallah ta'ala al-aziz, that will put everything into perspective. And it will be easier for us to understand the gist of this endeavor. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, Allah Ta'ala Jalla Jalaluhu has given 2 gifts absolutely free to mankind. And mankind do not appreciate both of these gifts till they lose one or the other or both of them. Only then they realize what a great gift that was, or what great gifts these two things were. The Sahaba asked, Ya Rasulullah, what are those two gifts? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam answered, time and good health. What a profound narration. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, man does not appreciate the free time available to him, the time which he has, till it's over, till he loses that time. And similarly, man does not appreciate the good health. He takes it for granted, as if that's how it should be, till he loses and become ill or is no more healthy. So, dear viewers, Brother Momin, we need to understand that these two gifts of Allah given to us, free time and good health, we should make the best use of both these gifts before we lose one or the other or both of them, and then we regret and feel sorry for ourselves. Not a single moment can be bought with all the wealth in the world. Not a single moment of time can be retrieved, can be reverted, even if we are ready to pay all the wealth in this world to get that moment of our time back. Similarly, once we lose our good health, it is very difficult to go back to what we were before becoming sick or ill or unhealthy. That is one hadith. The second hadith, which actually transformed my life, and I was at the prime of my youth when I read this hadith, and that completely changed my perspective about life and how I'm going to live it, is that once Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was invited by one of his companions for a dinner, as he has built a new house and he wanted to celebrate the occasion, and asked the Prophet whether he would kindly come and make dua and have meal with the family. And as the normal practice of Prophet was, he would never refuse or decline any invitation. So he agreed and went to his house. After the meal, Prophet asked the companion if he could show him around his house, newly built house. So the companion got really happy and showed him around the house. On entering one of the rooms, there were probably only one or two rooms. That's how the companions of the Prophet lived. That's how the Prophet lived himself. very frugal living. And there was a window in one of the walls of that room. The Prophet pointed at the window and asked the companion, "Why did you build this window?" The companion said that, "I built this window so that sunshine and fresh air can come through it." And the Prophet said, "That's fine. But if you had built this window with the intention that the sound of azan would come through it, you would have got the ajr, the reward, till the day this window would stand in this wall. The fresh air and sunshine would have come through it anyway." That hadith actually transformed my conceptual reality. If we try to excel in life, excel in our profession, excel economically, excel socially, excel politically, excel professionally, with the intention that we would be able to represent Allah at a higher level, in a more influential capacity, in a more glamorous and powerful capacity, from a more powerful platform, we will be getting reward for every effort we make, while the political power, the economical power, the social power, the glamour, the glitter, the money, the influence would come anyway. That is the second hadith. The third hadith, which is very profound, and we should be mindful of it all the time, Brother Momin, all the time, is that Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "No son of Adam, no daughter of Adam would be allowed to take a single step further on the day of judgment till they have answered 5 questions." The Sahaba actually, as was their normal habit, out of sheer respect and regard for the Prophet, asked humbly, "Ya Rasulullah, what are those 5 questions?" And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, by answering his companions, left a message for the coming generations of mankind in general, and his followers in particular. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, those 5 questions are, which every person who has ever lived on this earth have to answer on the day of judgment before they are allowed to take any step further on their journey, eternal journey in the hereafter, is the first question will be, what did you do? What did you do with your life? Second question will be, how did you spend your youth when your energies, when your potential, when your capacities were at the peak? How did you make use of those energies, that potential, that capacity? What did you do with your youth? The third question would be, how did you earn your wealth? How did you earn your money? What means, resources, efforts did you use to earn your money, your wealth? Were they the proper, fair means, honest, sincere means, or were they unfair means, corrupt means? The fourth question will be, how did you spend your wealth? What did you use it for? After answering the question, how did you earn your wealth? The next question, the fourth question will be, how did you spend your wealth? What did you use it for? And the last question will be, what did you do with the knowledge which you gained? So, dear brothers and sisters, in this concluding episode of the deep dive into Qur'an, I would like to finish this episode with these 3 ahadith that we have been given very limited time and limited energies. And Allah is watching. How do we make use of those energies and that time given to us as a gift? What I've learned is that it is the way I perceive and contextualize the goals and objectives of my life, whether I'm doing anything and everything to make Allah happy and be pleased with me, to make Him feel proud about me and my efforts, or whether I am doing things or my goals and objectives in life are just for self-glorification, self-promotion, limited to the aims and objectives with relation to the life on this earth only. And the last thing is that before I am asked those 5 questions by Allah on the Day of Judgment, I should be able to start formulating, working on answering those 5 questions now, while I'm still alive, asking myself every night and every morning, how did I spend my day? What did I do with my energies, time, health, potential? What did I earn? And whatever I earned, how did I spend it? Whether and the knowledge I've got, in what way have I put it to use for the benefit of my surroundings and my fellow being. Brothers and sisters, dear viewers, Inshallah ta'ala al-Aziz, we will meet in the second season of deep dive into the Qur'an, when we will try to explore further wisdom and try to know the spirit of Qur'an and our Deen Islam in a deeper sense, completely related and connected to our life, day-to-day life. I hope this final episode has rounded up. So we started our journey. Let us start our journey. Let us start our journey today, the real journey, by reading Qur'an with the intention of understanding it, diving deep into it, forming concepts, principles, making it a lens through which we see our life, our day-to-day living, our day-to-day interactions with the lens of Qur'an. The way Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam utilized and exemplified how to use Qur'an as a lens in your life, day-to-day life, and then beautifully followed up by his companions, the greatest of them being Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, Ali, radiyallahu anhu, Abdullah bin Masud, and all others. So I pray that may Allah give us the insight, the basira, the will, the tawfiq to live our lives the way He would like us to live, the way which will make Him pleased with us, the way when we meet Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of Qiyamah, he tells us, I'm proud of you. You indeed prove to be my true follower. Brother Momin, with this, I pray that Allah accept mine and your this very humble effort, and I make you witness that if there is any mistake, and if there is anything which I've said which is not exactly according to Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may Allah forgive me, and may Allah put me on the right path and guide me towards the truth, and may Allah take away that mistake from that flaw in my thinking, and may Allah protect you from that mistake if I have narrated anything, and if it has been perceived in any way. May Allah open my heart, may Allah open your heart, may Allah open my mind, may Allah open your mind to His deen, to the sunnah of His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to the light of Quran. Ameen.
Ameen. Jazakumullah khairan, Dr. Khattak. I think you have beautifully summarized the 12 episodes in this segment, in the final episode. What can I say? You know, when you first says I want to do this program, this series, and I thought I'm just going to sit here and let you talk and listen to you. But it's amazing. It's been an amazing journey for me to be sitting here listening to you. And the titles chosen, Deep Dive into Quran, truly have been a journey of deep dive into Quran. So, brothers and sisters, I hope you will take things from these episodes and put them into a practical in your life and you learn something from this. But these 12 episodes have been a thought provoking, have been the points of realization, have been the points for us to be the thinkers and to perceive and to conceptualize the points that Dr. Katak has made. It is only a journey. It's a journey that has just begun for you and me to go further.
ألف لام